just like, bro, chill out.
To explain how exactly this is a very big win. The Iran war currently looks like Trump's biggest mistake. Thousands of people in the Middle East have been killed. The global economy has suffered serious and lasting damage. The same regime they accuse of murdering tens of thousands of its own people is going nowhere. The Hormuz Strait should reopen on Friday, and the US will lift its blockade, restoring the exact conditions we had before the war started. All of the thorniest issues, including Iran's uranium and its demand for sanctions, will be debated later. And the thorniest issue of all is now the Israeli war in Lebanon. This agreement compels Israel and Hezbollah to stop fighting, even though neither were consulted. The US could now find itself in the extraordinary position of effectively guaranteeing Hezbollah's security from Israel. That's a pretty big win if you're Iran. Well, joining us now is Naftali Bennett, the former Israeli Prime Minister. Mr. Bennett, welcome back to Uncensored.
Good to be here.
Yeah, I suppose my opening question.
You know, so funny. People actually think this guy's going to bring change to Israel. No, he's going to come with the same warmongering policies as Bibi. Like, they have a slight disagreements when it comes to their policy about the foreign policy and how they deal with the other countries around them or their neighbors.
To you,
it's the exact same thing. And remember, this was the guy that pretty much says that Turkey's the new Iran. So, you know, Bibi went after Iran. This guy most likely will be going after Turkey.
Is in the context of statements we're now seeing from the National Security Minister, Ben-Gvir, and the Finance Minister, Smotrich, railing against this deal between Washington and Tehran, insisting that Israel should be allowed to continue fighting on multiple fronts. Smotrich said the agreement with Iran is bad for Israel and for the entire free world.
Well, they can all shove it. I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't care what they think. Like, what do you mean the deal's bad for you? Bro, just leave Iran to F alone. Just leave Hezbollah to F alone, and you'll be just fine. The problem is that you guys want to be able to attack these guys with impunity, and then you want us to back you guys up while y'all do it. And, well, we won't. We can't. And if you guys want to go ahead and take on Iran, bro, like, hey, I think Trump should go ahead and let Bibi do it by himself, man. If you want to go ahead and cook himself and all of Israel, let him do it.
Period. The joint campaign had many achievements in weakening Iran, and they will not go to waste. We want to continue the campaign to topple the regime ourselves and in creative ways and ensure that Iran will never have nuclear weapons. And Ben-Gvir said Trump's agreement does not bind us. Israel is not subject to the United States, and we're an independent and sovereign nation.
What you mean?
Our duty is to the citizens.
Here's the thing. No, we get your independent and sovereign nation. That's great. That's great. But handle y'all own shit then. I mean, if y'all so independent then in such a sovereign state and Israel so strong and can fight their own battles, then why did you drag us into it with Iran? Why couldn't you just take on Iran by yourselves? Because they know from the 12-day war that they can't do so, and Iran was kicking their teeth in. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy how they talk big shit, but the only reason they do that is because they know that we'll back them up. Once that's removed from them, bro, watch how they talk. Once we say, yeah, we're not backing you up, once we say we're not funding you, I guarantee you we're going to be hearing a nicer tone out of these people.
Of Israel, to the soldiers of the IDF, and to the Jewish people, and a historical duty to the persecuted and murdered Jews over thousands of years of exile to provide security to Jews in the land of Israel. So some very strong words coming out of two of the more hard-right members of the Israeli government, but pretty clear messaging as a reaction to this impending deal that it doesn't involve Israel as far as they're concerned, and Israel should be free to continue exactly what it sees fit, including prosecuting the war against Iran and against Hezbollah in Lebanon. Is that your assessment?
Well, surely every country has a right to self-defense, and so does Israel. I mean, if you were attacked.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing, though. You guys attacked them first. Now, if Hezbollah was attacking you guys, I would low-key be on Israel's side. If Hezbollah attacked them first, I would be on Israel's side on this one. But that's not the case. You guys attacked them first. You broke the ceasefire with Hezbollah multiple times. Actually, you used the fog of war of Iran to invade Lebanon, to put boots on the ground and displace about 1 million people so far. So, yeah, nah, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. We really can't back y'all on this. And we've let y'all get away with enough, and y'all haven't benefited us in any way, shape, or form. I mean, y'all rarely helped us in this entire conflict with Iran. The only time y'all been willing to help us is when it came to just bombing them. You ain't help us. You ain't trying to help us open up the strait, and y'all too busy playing defense for yourselves, and we're helping you with y'all defense. So y'all can't even defend yourselves correctly, much less consider doing an offense against. Well, much more consider doing an offense against Iran.
Now by some terror organization, you'd fight back. So will we, if necessary. We don't want war. For us, it's very personal. My son is in the war. Many families have their children in the war.
Oh, guys, like I said, if you got any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements, feel free to super chat it in. If you want to double your support, you can send it now on PayPal and Venmo. So appreciate the support, guys. Let's keep it going.
And we hate war, but we are being attacked. So obviously we have to defend ourselves.
You attack them. They wouldn't be attacking you if you didn't attack them. That's what I don't like about these Israeli spokesmen most of the time. They always started off with the retaliation. Yes, you guys always start the story off from the retaliation from your bullshit. Is it with the Palestinians? Y'all don't want to talk about how y'all just kicked them out their home in the Nakba. Y'all started from when they attacked you because you did that. Y'all don't want to talk about the fact that you invaded Lebanon and y'all been breaking ceasefires with them. No, you want to tell from the story of when they finally attack you guys back. It's like, it's insane how they do this.
Right, but Donald Trump has made it crystal clear he wants this deal. He wants it done. He wants it signed off on Friday. Many people, including many supporters of Trump on the Republican side in America, are very unhappy about the speed that this is happening because they do not believe there are enough commitments in there from the Iranians, which basically take this deal any further than the Obama deal of many years ago, which, of course, Trump tore up in his first term. Are you concerned as a former prime minister of Israel and maybe perhaps the next prime minister of Israel? Are you concerned?
And guys, let me tell you what these guys are tripping about. So we're going to go ahead and go through the entire clause, all 14 clauses of the deal. Okay, guys? Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Let me main page this so you guys know what I'm going with this. So here it is. Sanctions on Iranian oil, petrochemicals, and related exports will be suspended, aka they're making money. All right, 24 billion in frozen Iranian funds would be released during the 60-day negotiation window. 12 billion of that would be released before talks even begin. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. But, as JD Vance says, oh, guys, don't worry. We're making them work for it. They're jumping through hoops of fire for it. But really, we're just throwing it to them. All right, but the U.S. and its allies would have to present reconstruction plan for Iran worth at least $300 billion. At least we'll be pretty much paying us and our Gulf allies. We'll be paying Iran $300 billion for reconstruction. The war will be stopped immediately and permanently on all fronts, including Lebanon. So, they didn't include Gaza in this. So, I guess I was wrong about that one. I thought they were going to include Lebanon and Gaza, but they're just including Lebanon. Here's the thing. This lets you know that they're kind of getting ballsy right now because, bro, Israel's never used another country or never try to use another country as well a reason to fire on Israel or try to take it into negotiations where they're like, yo, you better cut the shit or with Lebanon, or we're just not going to do what you say. They've never done that before. So it kind of lets you know, well, they're kind of accepting a new position on the global stage. But let's keep it going. The U.S. will commit to non-interference in Iranian affairs and respect for Iranian sovereignty. Boy, I wish we would respect that. Shit, if we respected that, we wouldn't be here. Let's see here. The U.S. naval blockade would be fully lifted within 30 days. U.S. forces would withdraw from areas around Iran. So they're saying this is not going to be a complete withdrawal, but there's going to be a couple of places that we cannot rebuild our bases at. The Strait of Hormuz will reopen within 30 days under Iranian arrangements, aka those tolls. 60-day window, 60-day negotiation window would begin to reach final deal on nuclear issues and the full lifting of sanctions. And like I said, we're going to lift everything off of their, the oil, petrochemicals, and other industries as well. U.S. would agree not to add forces to the region and impose new sanctions during negotiations, aka, no takesy backsies on the negotiations. Iran would reaffirm its nuclear proliferation treaty commitments not to produce nuclear weapons, as they've been doing so for the past 2 decades, so that ain't new. A supervisory mechanism would monitor implementation, and any final deal would be approved by a UN Security Council resolution, which Iran is a member of. Iran's missile program and support for resistant groups are completely off the table. We're not talking about that shit whatsoever. Y'all better move on, basically. Okay. Final negotiations would reportedly not begin until the 12 billion Israelis oil sanctions are suspended and blockade are lifted, aka complete capitulation. What did I tell you? I told you it was going to end like this. I try to tell you, I try to warn you. Maybe if you guys stood with me on this, maybe we could have, got the public to push Trump to end this shit. But no. You just had to throw up the pom-poms. You just had to, huh? But all right, though. All right, let's get back to it.
That America, for political and economic reasons, may be hurtling towards a deal which is a very flawed deal.
Well, we're going to have to see the final deal because this is a pause. This is certainly not the end deal. And President Trump has been very clear that he's going to...
Oh, guys, make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Appreciate the support, by the way. Got about 40 y'all in here, man. Let's get to 25 likes by double tapping that screen. And what's going on, Castro?
Dismantle the nuclear program so Iran can never acquire a nuclear weapon. The details matter. I believe that America still retains tremendous leverage, but the jury's out. We'll see in a period of 60 days that we need to achieve the objectives of taking away the nuclear uranium stockpile, ensuring that Iran can't build a shield of immunity.
Hey, and shout out to my man Daniel Castro, man. Member for 18 months. He says, "Sup, my boy? Long time no see, my brother." He says, "Get your investments in. A run is incoming." All right, so you're going to have to tell me a little bit more on that one, man. Which corner, which investment you talking about? But shout out to my man Castro. And, of course, I got to give you that celebration, man. But all right. Let's get back to it, guys. And like I said, don't forget to double tap that screen, like the video. And if you have any questions, comments, jokes, or disagreements, you can feel free to super chat it in Venmo or PayPal, guys. Venmo or PayPal doubles your support towards the call in. Let's keep it going.
With thousands or tens of thousands of ballistic missiles and taking apart the terror network. This is still achievable. So we support any effort to achieve these three objectives.
But if those objectives are not met, and most people looking at this are highly skeptical that they will be met, they think the Iranians have a lot of leverage. They realize there's a ticking clock to the American midterm elections in November. There's a lot of pressure on President Trump to get out of this war, and they can just play the long game. And if they string it out over the 60 days, and then at the end of it, they do what the Iranian regime has always done, which is just obfuscate, lie, dissemble, and try and string things out even longer. It's very hard to see what happens then. I mean, do the Americans then re-engage in the war, or would the Israelis in that eventuality go on their own and attack Iran again on their own?
They won't do it because they know Iran's going to decimate them. I mean, Iran's already proven that they can break through the Iron Dome at will. I mean, sure, Israel got this air superiority, but that's not going to stop those Iranian missiles and drones, especially those hypersonic ones. If they just start firing off into Israel, they will decimate them. So let's be real. Israel's going to talk tough, but they're not really going to try to take on Iran by themselves. They know they can't.
Look, for many years, I've been a proponent of what I call the octopus doctrine, where Iran is an octopus of terror and it sends its tentacles across the Middle East. And we should be focused on Iran and not bleed ourselves to death just fighting its tentacles. I would say that Iran is very similar to the Soviet Union of the 80s. It's a very disconnected, corrupt, incompetent regime that doesn't care about its own people, and it's destined to collapse. But the timing matters. When will it collapse? Maybe it'll take 2 years, maybe it'll take 15 years. But we, the Western world, can accelerate the demise of this horrible regime and free its people. But we need to act in that sense, not this.
Do you see the difference in our interest right there? Here's the thing: at a certain point, we're okay with the Iranian regime staying in power. We just want we just want their nuclear enrichment under control. We want the Strait open, and that's where our interest ends. Israeli interest. Oh, we want a complete regime change. We want the Iranian people free, even though they don't know what the hell the Iranian people want. They just want a regime change. They're just going to sit there and sell to you that the Iranian people want to be freed, but really, they just want regime change, guys. So let's not let the Israeli propaganda get to us. You can sit there and stop saying that, oh, the Iranian people don't like their government, so they're okay with us bombing them. I'm sorry, but that's retarded. So, guys, let's just get to the actuality of it. Israel's actions done expose themselves. This has always been about regime change for them, and they don't want us to get out of it until they get what they want.
Necessarily only war, but other means. For example, we know that every few years there's a wave of protest, and we know the Iranian regime turns off the internet. So what if we put in place, say, 30 or 50,000 Starlink receivers so they can turn on the internet next time and achieve the protest? So there's a lot of work, clandestine, secret, covert, overt, many things that we can do to accelerate the ultimate collapse of this really bad regime.
I mean, bro, we already tried that and it didn't work. We tried it in January. Look, we crashed their currency. That started off a protest. Then we turned that protest towards the government into, manufactured revolution. We had the Mossad and CIA go out there and put guns in agitators' hands. We pretty much had a gunfight between the protesters and the police, and it didn't work out for us, bro. We already tried that. Okay, it's kind of crazy how they just want to keep on going, even if it's a plan we already tried. Like, they just want to keep going, guys. They're just that desperate. It's like you want to try the same plan that failed miserably, and we end up getting about 1,000 of those people killed. The same people that you want to overthrow their government is now being hung by the day because of that protest that you guys help incite.
War is one of the tools, but there's many other tools. That's why this deal matters so much, and why we have hold high hopes that President Trump will be strong and see it through.
President Trump said in March 2026 on his Truth Social platform, there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. We're a long way from that, aren't we, Naftali Bennett? I mean, if at the end of all this, Iran, the regime stays in place, the killed Ayatollah's son, who's more radical, now replaces his father, as has been the case. The people don't uprise, as there's been no sign of them doing at all throughout this entire war so far. And the Iranians maintain control of the Strait of Hormuz and the awareness that should they close it, they can cause enormous damage at will, as we've seen economically. And they can also, if they want to, attack their neighboring Gulf states whenever they feel like it, and know that that too causes enormous damage, both in the practicality of firing missiles, but also economically to the business models of those Gulf states. It looks, to quote a phrase that we heard in the White House when Donald Trump was attacking President Zelensky of Ukraine, it looks to many people like Iran holds a lot of cards here.
Yeah.
Well, what you've just described is that Iran is a big, violent bully, and it proves all the more so that we have to ensure that it doesn't acquire a nuclear weapon, ensure that it can't terrorize the world. Because
and here's the thing, though, if we were really serious about that, then I'm gonna be real with you, we would stop all aggressions against Iran, because, well, if we understand pattern recognition, we'd understand that, every time we do this, that pushes them closer to a nuke. So if we really don't want them to have a nuke, maybe we shouldn't be so aggressive. We should go through diplomatic means like Obama pretty much showed us. And I mean, let's be real. The JCPOA is way better than what we're dealing with right now, than what we're getting out of Iran right now. Way better. And I mean, it's really hard I don't even know how you can even defend the premise. Like, please tell me how the JCPOA is not better than the Iran deal. Like, come on now. Like, less money is being given, less lives are lost, less dollars was spent. I mean, like, come on, guys. Let's just keep it real. Once again, I've been standing on this, that this war was a bad idea and it wasn't going to work out well for us. And here's the end result of that.
seen a demonstration of what this bully looks like when it uses conventional weapons. So now imagine what it would look like if it acquires nuclear weapons. So if anything, we've all seen the true Iran. I also want to tell you that I believe that soon in Israel, there'll be a new government. Hopefully I'll lead that new government. And I want to tell the Iranian.
I hope he don't. Like I said, it's the same guy that says that Turkey's the new Iran, and that's a NATO member. So it kind of makes me scared about this man's ambition if he's calling Turkey the new Iran. I mean, you see how Israel dragged us into this shit with Iran. I mean, imagine what they'll do with Turkey.
Regime from here, the regime, I'm going to be your worst nightmare ever. I won't relent until we free your people, ensure you don't have a nuclear weapon. So you've got no hope. We won't let up on this effort because it's fighting for our freedom, for our security, and for the benefit of the entire Middle East.
The fear, Naftali Bennett, is that this war has actually emboldened the Iranian regime. And I guess time will be the answer to that. But I appreciate you joining me. As always, thank you very much.
Thank you, Piers.
Well, joining me now to discuss all this is my panel, Jonathan Conricus, the former Lieutenant Colonel and spokesman for the IDF, Iranian-Canadian commentator Goldie Gamari.
This girl crazy. This chick is crazy, bro. I remember, bro, who was it? I think it was my man Gaming that put me on to her. And bro, she is just crazy. And she's wild as hell, honestly. Look, she uses the fact that she's not like from, I'm gonna be real with you. I think she's from Iran, but I think her people, she's one of these monarchists, okay? She's one of these monarchists, Iranian diaspora people. I mean, they're completely out of touch with reality when it comes to Iran. And trust me, you'll see it when she talks. But no, she's